Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome to Fantasia. For today, we're going to be jumping into another session of Epic 7 now today. Got some more Guild Wars for you guys. Oh boy, we got absolutely decimated today, but we're going to be switching things up yet again for the Guild War format. I did a kind of a poll and asked you guys what you wanted to see for future Guild War videos, and a lot of you guys said you wanted to see full Guild War matches, like full-on fighting against the guild. Today we're fighting against Kokoro, which actually is a pretty high-ranking guild. They have a little guild crest there from previous achievements, I assume, right? That's pretty cool. Alright, so we have our work cut out for us. You saw my tower got absolutely decimated. But before we jump into things, we of course have to have the joke of the day. My dad raised me single-handedly. It wasn't easy being the son of a pirate. I mean, hey, at least you know, you're safe in his hook, right? Okay guys, so we're gonna jump into our first match over here, and we're losing pretty badly. My guild is not really active at this point here, and because it's during, technically it's a work day, it's a school day, but you know, teachers have off for some grading shenanigans for report cards, and that's why I'm here a little bit early, so none of the main towers have been opened up. But into the first match here, we have a Spirit Iceline, who's the main damage dealer, hiding behind a Boss Aruka and a Fallen Cecilia. So for this team, essentially what I wanted to do was to punish the Fallen Cecilia by having a DJB, right? We're going to barrier invert my opponents here, and he's going to be dealing a lot of damage with his skill 2 to the Spirit Iceline. Whatever barrier my opponents have, essentially, it becomes damage instead, and that should bring her below half of her health. Now, DJB is wonderful. He's fast. He's an opener here, essentially, for my team. 285 speed. There's no way that his units are faster. I think if the Spirit Iceline is faster, she will open with an S3, but we will be able to strip that with our S2 anyway, so I'm not too worried. What we do also have here is a Conqueror Lilius, though. The Conqueror Lilius is here to give us the Vigor buff for the team. Now, typically you want Conqueror Lilius to kind of start off and open with the Vigor buff. That way the Argent Waves Hua-Young gets to take an extra turn, right? Doesn't necessarily matter for us here. We just want our Conqueror Lilius to come in, give the Vigor buff. We have Warhorn as well for some additional attack for everybody, which will help out quite a bit. I just have some speed and hit set pieces on her. I just wanted to make sure her speed was lower than that of DJB's, and that we had enough effectiveness to potentially defense break my opponent, which would be really, really nice as well for dealing extra damage to the team. And last but not least, we have Argent Waves Hua-Young. You could just come in here with like a Hua-Young and see Lilius and a follow-up DPS. I think the DJB is just a little bit safer. Unfortunately, the DJB is going to be the one triggering the Argent Waves Hua-Young's attack here. It's going to still be fine. We're going to be okay because we're going to get a ton of combat readiness gains, and we do penetrate our opponent's defense as well. I am running Summer Photogenic, so we ignore damage share. So when we're attacking this Spirit Iceline and such, she won't be sharing damage with like Fallen Cecilia if she has Aureus, for example. We are on double Torrent and Penetration set, just something that I threw on her for this match here. It's gonna definitely gonna maximize the amount of damage that she's gonna be doing, so I'm quite excited to see what she's got here. For the bottom team, we're actually coming in to a ML Shu with a Ruel and Empyrean Ilanov. The Shu's annoying because she has stealth, but we are bringing in a unit with consistent AoEs in the form of Solitaria. She's also a really good direct counter to Shu because we prevent her from gaining focus, and so that way Shu's damage output is going to be greatly hindered here, and we're going to be able to provide some control on our team as well. My Solitaria is decently bulky, decent speed, but a lot of effectiveness. I have about 200 effectiveness here, and we are running Fairy Tail for a Nightmare for some extra damage and the chance to dispel buffs as well. But the reason I'm running Solitaria is to counter the Shu, but also she synergizes really well with the Death Dealer Ray, right? DDR here, who is going to be on Guardian Ice Crystals for a little bit of healing, a little bit of resistance for him as well, not bad. Not that it's really needed in this case though, but he is running a speed resist build. This is my normal RTA DDR. I just haven't been using him at all this season. Here are all of his gears. He's running 235 speed, a little bit slower, but I'm running him a lot bulkier than he used to be, with a mix of both effectiveness and effect resistance, which has helped out quite a bit when I do need him, to prevent him getting like provoked or randomly defense broken. It is kind of nice. The last unit we're running here is going to be Fene. Now, Fene is a unit that actually benefits from injury. Her attacks and stuff, they actually scale based on the amount of injury that she has. So this is actually great because ML Shu applies injury, so does Empyrean Ilanov, and so my Fene here is going to be a great DPS counter. Sorry, I should show you her stats as well. She's going to be a great DPS counter into this team. She's also running Proof of Love, which allows me to inflict injuries, as well as gives me extra crit chance too, so gonna help out with her stats quite a bit. She does hit pretty hard with 350 crit damage, and so without any further ado, let's go ahead and see what we got, guys. This is gonna be exciting, especially the second team. I can't wait to see how that plays out. So look at that barrier there, right, on the Spirit Isoline. We can barrier invert, and this is gonna deal a lot of damage, right? Not quite, ooh, actually not quite enough damage, I'd say. It's okay though. The Huayan did a lot there, and what we'll do is we'll push up here, right, with the S3, and see Lilius. We can actually come in with an S3 here as well. Get that Vigor buff going. I could S2 in Defense Break, but at this point, do I want to just go for a dual attack here? Ooh, see, even with all this planning coming in, I was like, wow, this FCC's barrier was a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. We could Defense Break. That could only target the boss of Runka, or I can risk like dual attacking here. I don't know if I really necessarily want to do that. I am just, you know what, let's just go for the S2. A little barrier for the BJB. Alright, we're going to come in with an S3 here, attack buff, vigor buff. We should be able to push up the DJB with this, and hopefully he can take care of the Spirit Isolate. There you go, look at that. So we can now come in here and do a little bit of this. There you go, guys, managed to recover. And that's also one of the reasons I forgot to mention this, why I put DJB in the back. When DJB S3s, he pushes himself up 30%, and then Huayan, when she S3s, pushes him up by 50%, allowing him to cut my opponent, right? So that's pretty nice. Let's see if we can dual attack with the Huayan. Very good, and we hit like an absolute truck. There you guys have it. Not the cleanest, I know, but it worked. In theory, it worked. In practice, it sort of worked. And oh my god, this is a full-on damage Shu, and I don't like that. Empyrean Ilanov is actually really slow. What I'll do here is, I could go for an S3, but instead I'm just going to go for an S1. There we go, that's a nice little bit of extra injury on my Fene there. Beautiful. Okay, so we go into stealth on our Solitaria. This is nice because Empyrean Ilanov is now going to just hit my DDR. And we get to come in with, he's already cleansed this team, right? So we're going to come in with an S3. Hopefully the Ruel doesn't have that much effect resistance. Most of them are sitting around 100 to 150. If you're really dedicated, you have 200. Ooh, and this is a pretty dedicated Ruel right here. I don't like that. What I can do is go for the Ruel herself here, and I'll ignore the Shu for right now. So the reason why is because if I go for the Shu, Ruel is going to heal the Shu, but if I go for Ruel, she's actually going to heal herself. And the Ruel's AI is not really that good. If this guy's running the EE, right, Ruel would normally S3 somebody else, you'll full cleanse, full heal them, but because the AI is kind of dumb, if Ruel is the one with the lowest health, she will just S3 herself, and only herself, which is a complete waste if you have an EE on her. So just keep that in mind, by the way, if you are, if you have like a Ruel on the defense team in it or anything, but also if you're fighting Ruels, hit her first, and then she'll heal herself, right? There we go. Now we can go in onto this ML Shu. Because he is already healed with the S3, we're able to get some free hits on the Shu. This should finish her off, actually. Look at us. Look at that. Fene has so much damage because she's basically at max injury right now. This is pretty good. Let's see if we can sleep. Wow, still resisted on the Ruel here. Okay, she is going to cleanse the, unfortunately, cleanse the Ilanov. can I debuff here? We also have a effectiveness buff on our Solitaria, so we're about like 250 effectiveness. We can easily come in here and attack the Ruel. Again, full injury on our Fene. So maximum damage there, wonderful. And DDR, I'm gonna go ahead and just try to sleep the Ilanov. There. Oh, didn't sleep her. It's okay. Because it's a slow, non-damage Ilanov, we're not really taking as much here. I'm gonna go straight for the Ruel. We just want her turn cycle here. Get rid of her revive buff. There you go, look at that. Oh, and Ilanov is also on damage share. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's see if we can debuff. Oh, we can debuff. Maybe it's not that high of a resist. Oh yeah, it's not that high. But okay, it's not like 300 resist or 250 resist or anything. We're able to handle this. All right. Well, what we should do now is just finish off the Ruel before she can do any other shenanigans. Extra attack comes in here. And look at that, guys. Fene doing what she does best, which is punishing ML Shoes and other injury-type teams. But couple that with DDR, couple that with Solitaria, you got just an injury machine of your own that can really hinder and hamper your opponent's defenses. Alright guys, let's go ahead and move on to the next tower here. Let's take on this one, since there's already been some damage done to it by a guildmate. We'll take it down faster and hopefully open up the main tower for my guildmates later on. So this tower here is actually quite interesting. We got a Lady of the Scales Genesis Ra's defense team with a ML Shu. Not really a huge fan of Genesis Ra's with Lady of the Scales, super annoying to deal with, and Genesis Ra's in Guild Wars does so much damage. If you don't know, his S3 does, I think, 70% extra damage with every unit your opponent is missing. So in Guild Wars, when it's 3v3, Genesis Ra's S3 already hits like an absolute truck. So in order for me to live this, I am just going to cheese it with a little bit of Lady of the Scales action myself. This is my current build that I use for RTA. Semi-bulk, 270 something speed, 200 effect resistance. It's enough for what I need her to do. She is on Soul Constellation, but you can obviously change that to whatever you see fit for your scenario. In this case, it'll help us out with a little bit of combat readiness gains, but not by a whole lot. I do have BBK in the front though, and my BBK is a resistance BBK. Genesis Ra's is not built with any effectiveness normally. I don't think I've ever run into one with effectiveness. So BBK here is essentially going to be able to tank this seal from the Genesis Ra's S2, and there's nothing on my opponent's side that can strip buffs, right? So this BBK is going to sit there and eat all of the damage incoming from my opponent. We also have extra effect res from our artifact, by the way, so basically 200 effect res, and we are on counter and torrent set as well for the extra damage. This is not optimal. My Bystander Huayan actually took one of my BBK's like pieces, the helmet specifically, so she's actually not on her proper build. That's why she's not on 100% crit rate. We will 100% guarantee crit against the light units, and we'll deal with ML Shu when the time comes. We're also coming in with Spirit Eye Celine, and now my Spirit Eye Celine is on a lifesteal build with penetration set, and she is like almost 270 speed. She's one of my proudest units and proudest creations. Don't have her max crit rate on her EE, but I don't really need it at the moment. And Summer Photogenic is my current artifact here. So I recently upgraded this to max limit break, and it's really for the ignore damage share effect. So when you fight Lady of the Scales, having this artifact is wonderful. I did use just a bunch of bottles of knowledge to max limit break that, but this is the stats on my gear here. You obviously don't need a lifesteal Spirit Eye Celine. Mine is, because I like it. She ends up healing quite a bit and becomes very difficult to deal with. For the bottom team though, we're essentially coming in here with a little bit of a cleave. Now, nothing on my opponent's side is fast. Basarunka, Setsuka, and Bystander Huayan. So I am coming in here with a New Moon Luna. She is going to be the fastest unit on my team, 290 speed, and she's running Taiga Hell's Ancient Book, which allows her to soul burn at the start of the match, which is huge because then I can guarantee the seal on Setsuka. And we can also prevent, Basarunka from pushing herself up when we hit her with our Straze. But yeah, these are the stats that she's currently running. This is my normal build that I use in RTA. Now, as for units I don't typically use in RTA since I'm not a cleaver, here's my Ahmed. I did slow her down, she used to be like 290 something speed, but I slowed her down here, purposely gave her like some, you know, janky gears and stuff, to make sure that she's slower than New Moon Luna. I want Luna to seal first, so that we can stop Setsuka from applying that extra evasion to everybody on the team, and afterwards Ahmed can come in and buff and push up everybody, right, or push up the Straze specifically. We are using Fan of Light and Dark just to get that 80% chance to get that crit damage buff for 2 turns. I'm hoping that we are able to get that, and the EE is the greater attack buff EE as well. Here's my Straze. He is running Symbol of Unity because I want that extra hit chance. Setsuka usually has her own artifact which gives her 20% evasion that you cannot seal with New Moon Luna, so we're just running this so we can hit that Setsuka guaranteed. Also have his EE here, so whenever we defeat somebody with his S3 we grant an extra turn, which is fantastic. Mine's not an optimal Straze, you could definitely go Destruction build as well, but I think this is enough for our purposes here. The speed is just so that we can ensure that Straze will end up cutting, and he won't be, you know, super slow after he takes his original turn against our opponents. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump in here. Hopefully everything is going to work out just fine. But this first team is going to be fun. Okay, ooh, actually, yeah, sure, let's go ahead and push up our team. But my opponent has no debuffs, so there's no reason to hold on to the S3. We'll just go ahead and do this. Right, push up everyone on my side. The Lady of the Scales on the opponent's side is going to cut, and she's going to push up their team, which is perfectly fine. And here we go. Spirit Eye Celine gets to take the first turn. Keep in mind, we ignore damage here, so whoever we go for here will take the full brunt of our damage. However, I don't have any buffs on me, so I don't really want to do this right now. I'm going to save my Soul Burn for later. I'm just going to put up the Immortality right now. I don't see a reason for me to nuke anyone just yet. And look at this, the Ra's going to go for the BBK. She's the only dark unit on my side, so Ra's is just naturally going to be going for her. We do get a counter to heal up, which is great. But look at this. Beautiful stuff, right? We're going to take it. Look at that. We get a counter from this into the Ra's, procs the Immortality, which is huge, and BBK gets to heal up as well. And there we go. So we're in a pretty decent spot at the moment. I could rip this S3, but there's no reason to. I won't guarantee a kill on anybody, so I'm just going to go for the Lady of the Scales, right? Do a little bit of damage there. Just keep going for the Lady. There's nothing I can do right now. Okay, so at this point, we just have to wait for BBK's extra Immortality to come in. Lady of the Scales also has a version of Immortality, so there you go. There's another Immortality. She has 3, by the way, and Spirit Eye Celine can keep applying more later. We will just hit the Lady of the Scales. Genesis Ra's will go down as a result because of the damage share. And now, we actually don't really need Spirit Eye Celine's artifact here, but let's go ahead and take care of this Lady of the Scales. Ooh, easy peasy. We can go ahead and Soul Burn once again and take care of the Genesis Ra's. Wonderful. I should be able to S3 right now. Should be good for right now. And BBK can come in. She is low on health, so we actually should be able to nuke this Genesis Ra's. We won't be able to kill this Shu just yet because the stealth halves the damage that she takes, but look at that. Look at the BBK right there. Amazing. And he can target Lady of the Scales, but you know, she's just as good on offense as she is on defense. We have our 3rd Immortality coming in. And there you go, guys. Pretty clean, pretty safe. There's really no danger in using a team like this. But I do get it. It is like a lot of Moonlight characters, 2 ML5s and an ML4, right? You could definitely replace Spirit Eye Celine with any other, like, decent damage dealer. They can be a little squishier as well. As you can see, they don't really take much damage as long as you have Lady of the Scales. So that is pretty nice. Let's go ahead and Soul Burn this first. Let's seal everyone on the other side. I don't want 15% or anything to kick in. When you're doing Guild Wars, it's all about mitigating RNG, right? Unless you're trolling, in which case then have fun with that. I do that quite often in Guild Wars. Okay, we're gonna buff the Straze. Please give me the crit damage buff as well. Even if we don't, we should get a greater attack buff. There you go, got a greater attack buff here. I'm gonna come in with an S3, right? Setsuka should not be able to dodge here. So we will be guaranteed to hit everyone on the other side. Bystander Hwayoung is going to proc. There we go. Holy sacrifice on that too. Disgusting. But everyone has a skill nullifier, right? So we're safe. Yeah, there you go. And he hit the Ahmed too, which is fine. I am going to go ahead and just soul burn this for some reduced cooldowns. Hit the Setsuka. Very good. Invincibility protects us from the Hwayoung. And I'm just going to go ahead and finish off the boss Arunka here. Hopefully he doesn't counter. Oh, there you go. We did not finish her off. That's unfortunate. Who does he go for? Oh, he goes for Straze here. Oh, no, sorry. Straze's invincible. He would not go for Straze here. But this does mean New Moon Luna actually does go down. Uh-oh. Well, there you go. It was alright when it lasted. Okay, well, the good thing is we did soul burn with the Straze earlier, so we do get another S2 here. This is gonna be a little bit, scrappy, actually, because this Bystander Hwayoung could potentially counterattack us, but at least we have a skill null. And now we have the skill nulls again. So there we go. Now we're nice and protected. There we go. If we can get a crit damage buff here along with the greater attack buff, we should be able to finish off the Hwayoung with a single S1. I think that's going to be it. Yeah, there you go. Wonderful stuff. It is relatively safe. If you had more damage, if I ran a destruction set, I think it would have been a little bit better. I thought it was going to be enough, but perhaps I just don't cleave enough, guys. But hey, not too shabby. Alright guys, let's go ahead and continue here. Going into this team, because I think, yeah, we did deal some damage to it earlier in the day. Thank you, Genki. Yeah, so this team here is essentially like a mirror of what we just fought. The bottom team is actually the exact same. The one on the top here, though, they replaced ML Shu with Rinok. We're still going to go with the exact same team. So BBK, you've seen the stats already, so I don't need to show them again, but Genesis Ra is going to go into the BBK, Spirit Ice Ling, going to do Spirit Ice Ling things, and Lady of the Scales going to help protect the team with the BBK, right? Doing the triple immortality and then some with Celine's S3 as well. I think we're going to be fine. Rinok is going to deal a lot of damage to us, but the good thing is BBK tanking all the damage already is essentially just going to save our butt. Yeah, we're not going to worry too much about Rinok. She can't one-shot Spirit Eye Celine even if she wanted to. For the bottom team here, though, these three units, we have Setsuka, Boss Arunka, and Bystander Hwayoung. Again, this is the exact same team. I did lose my New Moon Luna in the last round, and I did switch up my Straze build. Actually, I switched up my Ahmed a little bit too. Put her back on her like 290-something speed build that I had on her. This is just going to make me a bit faster and essentially allow me to push up more with combat readiness because it scales with the combat readiness bar, right, your percentages. So this will push up Straze a bit further, which is going to be kind of nice. I did make sure my Straze had a destruction set this time around. We're still on Symbol of Unity for the extra hit chance, but now we have a lot more damage, right? Almost 5,000 attack, 330 something crit damage is looking pretty good. Again, still not super optimal, could probably max and get to like 5,000 attack and 350 crit damage, but I think it's going to be okay. And the reason why is because I'm bringing the Great Mortelix. Mort is going to be here, and he prevents everyone from countering except himself. So, Bystander Hwayoung can't counter and accidentally heal. You know, the Setsuka can't do anything either. So this is essentially us saying only we can play, and we're going to let Straze kind of do his job here. Mort will be in the supporting role. So let's see what we can do with this one. Perfect, actually. He was going into Lady of the Scales, and that actually ends up sharing damage to BBK, so Rinok goes into the BBK here. Again, one of the reasons why I love using Lady of the Scales on offense is because of stuff like this, right? It doesn't matter who they hit first, they're always going to hit the frontline unit afterwards with something like a Rinok. Unless you have an ice unit, but kind of rare to be using an ice unit right now on offense. Okay, so we see the cleanse there. This is perfectly fine. I don't want to soul burn just yet. We'll just put the immortality up. My opponent has a Genesis Raws coming up anyway, so we'll be good. And let's just go ahead and hit the Lady of the Scales. Sharing damage with the Raws regardless, so it's all good. And BBK. So I am just going to hit the Genesis Raws. I want to try to get his immortality procced if I can. If I don't, it's all good. There we go. Nice counter attack. Beautiful stuff. The more damage we do, the better. So you don't need a counter set on BBK, by the way. It's fine if you don't. I just prefer it myself. So he's coming with the S3. This will actually trigger the Celine, so we're gonna get a lot of damage. Very nice, beautiful. And because he's still alive with the immortality, we could actually come in and potentially finish off Lady of the Scales. See, there's no damage share, right? Easy peasy. And then I'm just gonna go into the Roz himself here. Okay, so at this point I could technically soul burn, but that is gonna proc the artifact anyway, so I'm just gonna leave it. Rinnock should be running out of stealth regardless here. There she goes. She steals the stats of BBK, but that's perfectly fine. Any counter? No counters. Okay, all good. At this point, I am just gonna go for the S3. I don't really care that I'm pilfered and I lost some damage, because we're still gonna deal a decent chunk, and Spirit Eye Celine is gonna Spirit Eye Celine, so we're gonna easily finish off the Rinnock here. Boom, we get all our stats back. Put up the immortality once again. Now this Roz. This Roz really has nothing on us. Okay, we're just gonna go for the S1. And even if your units fall in combat here, like even if BBK were to die from this next hit from the Roz, let's say, which you won't, but Spirit Eye Celine can easily revive, right? Right, take out the Roz now. So this is where Summer Photogenic really shines, and you can see where you can just take out the teammates without having to bypass the immortality on the frontline unit, right? BBK is gonna go, let's go for this, and then Spirit Eye Celine should be able to finish things off here. Soul Burn just in case. Ooh, it's a good thing we Soul Burn just in case, but the extra abundance damage actually did him in. Alright, next match, we have Ahmed, who's going to come in and buff skill nulls for everybody, and we're going to push up the Straze. Might go for that. Boom, nice, we got the crit damage buff and the greater attack buff, so this will actually cap out our crit damage at 350, which is wonderful. And look at that, good damage right there. Unfortunately, we didn't take out anybody though. The good news is that Straze still has the skill null and the invincibility, and we should be able to come in with an S3. This might not finish off the Setsuka, but it should hopefully finish off the boss of Lunka here. Beautiful. And now we get to come in with Straze, finish off the Setsuka, hopefully finish off the Bison of Hua-Young. There you go, easy peasy, so much more clean than the last one, right? No RNG involved in terms of counterattacks, but we do have to, you know, contend with potential evasions from the Setsuka. And that is going to be it for this Guild War video, guys. Let me know what you think of this. Did you enjoy it? I certainly had a lot more fun with this, showcasing a variety of different team comps. I know we end up like kind of doubling up depending on the opponent's defense teams. We showcase the same team again, but one, it shows consistency, right, I hope, and two, it shows that sometimes having the same defenses is not necessarily the best thing in Guild Wars, because if you can beat one of them, you can beat all of them. But with that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.